Well, good morning again. It's so good to see everybody. A lot of new faces. Welcome. Good to see you. This morning, I want to explore what it means when we say, as we say in our mission statement, that we embrace oneness. We embrace oneness. I want to explore what we mean when we sing in our oneness song, which we sing every Sunday. One heart, one mind, one life, united and divine. I remember years ago learning a chant from Yogananda, and the lyrics were, I am a bubble, make me the sea. Do you remember that? Did any of you hear that? I am a bubble, make me the sea. I am a bubble, make me the sea. Make me the sea, make me the sea. And I love this chant because it's a prayer, it's an invocation that, this experience I'm having of being this separate human from all the other separate humans. I want to expand into the ocean of consciousness where I feel myself as the sunlight on the water and the rock I'm sitting on and the children's laughter across the way and the eagle flying and the wind with the leaves rustling, that I feel myself as all that is. That's what it means to make me the sea of consciousness. And that is the truth that we all are here to find and discover and know, that we are one with it all. I remember back when I was 15 years old, it was a very auspicious day that my psychology teacher at college took me to. I was in college early, at 15. But she took me to the Temple of the Universe. Love that name, Temple of the Universe. Doesn't that sound vast? Michael Singer, who wrote The Untethered Soul, that was his place. It was an interfaith center. And it was the first time that I heard, in his Dharma talk, I heard him say that I am not separate from God, that God is within me, that God is within everything, that I am actually one with the Creator and with all of creation. And I just remember I felt like I was waiting my whole life to hear that truth, and it quickened something in me. And I realized this is what I'm here to really know and to really live, this experience of oneness. And I really feel in my heart that it is what we are all here to live and to know fully. And to have this direct experience of union, this direct experience of no separation from the divine. And not just for a few seconds when we're on our meditation pillow or we're here listening to a chant, but as an everyday experience, stabilized in the experience, the direct experience of oneness. The word yoga is a Sanskrit word, and it means to yoke or to unite, to unite. And the path of yoga, I'm a yogi because the path of yoga is the path of union. It's the path of discovering union with the divine and union with each other. And so our unity philosophy is really the same. It's the same goal as the yogic path, which is to experience union. I mean, our name is unity, right? We claim it. We claim our oneness with the universe and with all that is. Jesus called this universal source, he called this consciousness the Father, the Father. And he said, I and the Father are one. But we can choose any word that we relate to. And if we relate to another word, we can say, I and the Mother are one. Or I and the Holy Omnipresence are one. I am one with all that is, right? So it makes sense then, if we want to feel oneness more often, that we look at what helps us feel unity, what helps us feel united, and what also look at what hinders this feeling of unity, right? What makes us feel divided. So I found this beautiful prayer, and it didn't have an author, but I think Spirit wrote it, and I want to share it with you. I rest in you, Spirit of life. I rest in you. And I give to you my worries and my fears. I give to you my doubts and my hopes, my joys, my pains, my anger, my tiredness, my love, my suffering. And I allow you to take in all that I am. And as I give all that I am, I find the place of truth and stillness, the place eternal where you and I are one. Prayer is a call from within. It's an intentional giving of our limited mind over to the infinite mind, or you could say to the infinite heart that God is. And in unity, we don't so much pray to God as something as separate from us, but we pray from the sacred presence. We pray from that sacred presence, which is our very essence. Our prayer chaplains, I love how you so often begin with, let us center now in the heart. Let us center now in the heart. And I think Laura just said, let us center now in the stillness. But I love that, center now in the heart. You know, just to hear those words, you make a shift, right? That 18-inch journey, right? Said to be the longest journey from here to here. So, to know oneness, we need the intention to want to know oneness, right? When we choose to go into prayer, that's an intention, right? When we choose to go into meditation, that's an intention. When we choose to do our walk as walking meditation, which I do every day, that's an intention. And it's an intention to calm, to relax, and to quiet the ordinary thinking mind. In one of the most revered Hindu scriptures, Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, it begins with Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha, which means unified consciousness comes with cessation of thoughts. Unified consciousness comes with cessation of thoughts. Can you feel that? That's a transmission. And that is the gift of our spiritual practice and our practices of prayer and meditation and chanting, walking meditation, yoga. Those practices create a cessation of thought, space between thoughts. So an important question to ask ourselves is experiencing oneness truly important to us? Because if we spend most of our time completely lost in thought, and then we just come in here on Sunday and we just, for 1 hour, we might feel a little peace, right? But if we want to, we really could feel a whole lot more peace. We could feel a lot of bliss if we place a high value on that. There's a beautiful scripture from Psalm verse 19. And I love Stephen Mitchell's interpretations of just about everything. But this translation is so beautiful. It really expresses the desire to know oneness and this union with Source. It reads, "Let me always feel you present in every atom of my life. Let me keep surrendering myself until I am utterly transparent. Let my words be rooted in honesty and my thoughts be lost in your light, unnameable God, my essence, my origin, my lifeblood, my home." Love that translation. Years ago, I used to do very frequently a spiritual practice called Edu. And some of you have been at my retreats in years past and done Edu with me. And Edu is this beautiful practice. It's a lot like Qigong. You do a movement. And then at the end of Edu, what I really love, what's really special is we would get together in pairs and we would face each other and we would share affirmations. And we would put our hands together and we'd do a Mobius, the infinity sign. And we would speak these words. I am the mirror I see. I love the mirror I see. I am the all we be. I love the all we be. I am. And we look into these eyes as we said this. And I remember when I first started doing this, actually it was my partner, Jeffrey, who taught me, who was the founder of Edu. And I first started doing this in Lake Tahoe when I was 29. And I remember we were out by, was it Fresh Catch? Yeah, Tahoe Keys. We were on the beach. And I just remember it was very intense because it was so intimate in a kind of pure way. You know, you're looking into someone's eyes, and the idea is to look beyond the physical, to look beyond the personality, you know, to look beyond the form, blue eyes or brown eyes, and even to look beyond the energy field. We can kind of get caught up in that too. And to just look deeply into those eyes and see the window of the soul, you know, to look through the window and see the soul and see the light of consciousness there that's embodying that form. Yeah. I'm seeing it. See, there's a way to look and really see and kind of look beyond all the identities, right? All the identities we get completely identified with, completely absorbed in. And just to see the essence and meet essence to essence. And so this practice, we'd change partners, we'd do it with another partner and another partner and another partner. And it was so powerful for me at that age and that time to just get comfortable in looking more deeply and actually having a deeper meeting when I look at someone. Now I feel really comfortable with that, and it took some time. But it was such a powerful practice to have a direct experience of no separation, right? And you know, we would imagine we were looking in a mirror, right? Oh, there's another aspect of me, of that which I am, right? Look at all these different faces of God. You know, and you start looking that way, you start having a more direct experience of oneness. And it's really powerful to be seen that way, to have someone, you know, even maybe when you're forgetting the light of the divine you are, to have someone seeing you that way. Do you guys remember that movie Avatar? I love that movie. It's one of my favorite movies. And do you remember the tribe, the Na'vi? I think that's the name. And they lived on that planet, Pandora. And when they would see each other, they would say, when they would meet each other, they would say, I see you. And it was this deeper meeting, very similar to the Edu practice. I think they even had these ponytails that were like little spinal cords, and they would plug into each other, and they would really feel each other. They would feel this oneness. You know, remember they would sit by that tree, and they would all connect, and they would sway in this oneness. They would have this, I thought that was so brilliantly expressed in that movie. Yeah, so Edu is very much like that. It's this way of seeing beyond the personality, and that is a practice in a way that we can feel our oneness more on a daily basis, and a way that we can meet each other as the I am. Before I am Kathy Zavada, right? Before you're John and you're Kim, you are, right? The I am. So, you know, in our oneness song we sing one heart, one mind, one life, united and divine. You know, it might seem to our senses, our five senses, it might seem very much so that, look, I have a body, it ends right here, right? And then the space starts, and then there's your body. But if we could go beyond just the five senses, you know, if quantum physics shows us that actually we don't end where we seem to end. It's just our five senses that make it seem so. So what if we are spacious consciousness that is both all that is formless and also all that is form? You know, could we truly be so expansive that this whole world and all beings are actually within us? Can you conceive of that? Could it be that, could we be all that we see? Could we be all that we see? Can you see that there's nothing outside of us? I remember back in the 90s, somebody gave me a children's book, and it was entitled, All I See is Part of Me. Have you seen this book? It's the best book ever. It was written by Tara M. Curtis, and it's so profound in its teaching of oneness that everyone should read it. Everyone should have it. It's amazing that it's for children, but it's really for children of any age, 70-year-old children too, right? So, and I hadn't seen the book in 25 years, and so I searched on Amazon, and I found it. And I wondered, would you be willing to invite your inner child to be present and allow me to read you this book? It's very short. All right, here goes. I'll read this because I think it's so special. I wish I could show you the illustrations, but I suggest getting it. Okay, hopefully this will stay like that. Stay. Oh, I love this book. I am part of all I see, and all I see is part of me. I am my hands, I am my feet, I am the puppy across the street. I am the moon, I am the stars. I'm even found in candy bars. I used to think that I was small, a little body, that was all. But then one day I asked the sun, who are you? And he beamed, we are one. But Mr. Sun, how is this true? Am I not me? Are you not you? He smiled. You might ask Sister Star. She too is part of who you are. And so I waited till the night when darkness let me see her light. Sister Star, how can it be that I am you and you are me? She glowed. You're larger than you know. You're every place there is to go. You have a body that is true, but look at what's inside of you. I closed my eyes to see within. I saw a light. It made me grin. It reminded me of Sister Star. She said that light is who you are. Your body is just a little part of the light that shines within your heart. In all the world and all of space, your light shines bright. It's every place. And when you join it dot to dot, you'll see that you are what you've got. I wish you could see these illustrations. That's a body with a whole lot of galaxies inside of it. Could that be you? All the plants, the animals and trees are in your light, and you are these. Look inside. Each one you meet and see your light. It's so complete. Inside, outside, below, above, see your light and feel its love. You're asking you when you ask me because we're one. Don't you agree? I looked again at all my light and saw that Sister Star was right. For every question there can be, an answer was inside of me. And then I said, there's even more. Each question opens up a door, and every door that I walk through leads to a part of me that's new. Thank you so much, Sister Star. I love the part of me you are. I love that. Oh. I wondered as I climbed into bed, does all of me sleep when I rest my head? And then a voice called through the night, oh, you precious child of light. Even when you sleep, you are awake in every shining star. I snuggled with my teddy bear, and in his light, I saw me there. You are me, and I am you. You love me, and I love you too. I closed my eyes and found my light dancing with moonbeams in the night. I said a prayer, I know it was heard, 'cause all I am hears every word. And I can see in all of me that there can be no end. Isn't that lovely? Aw, thank Thank you. I just love that book so much. I'm going to give that to Linda for the children. Yeah. Such a powerful teaching. But it would be so powerful if we could remember as we move through our day that all I see is part of me. All I see is part of me. How different that would be. And so, people are like mirrors. We look into them and we see a part of ourselves. And, maybe it's a happy part, or maybe it's a sad part, or maybe it's a part that needs more love, or maybe it's a part that's shining bright. But it's a part of me, right? Another part of the Edu practice was sharing the affirmation, I allow you to be whatever you wish with no judgments or condemnation. We would do this little bow, I allow you to be whatever you wish. And to offer an energy of allowing, of accepting each other, that's to be as presence is, because presence has no judgments. It doesn't judge, it's just witnessing and it's love. And so when we're allowing, we're being as presence. And so, to say this to others in a practice where, we go from person to person to person, I allow you to be whatever you wish with no judgments, with no condemnation. I allow you to be whatever you wish and wherever you are and however you feel. If you feel closed, that's okay. I allow. If you feel sad, if you feel hurt, if you feel upset, I allow, I allow you. I am the love that's unconditional. That's what we're really saying. And so, in all the mirrors that we look into as we look at each other and we look at all the people we see each day, sometimes the mirrors are dusty. Sometimes there's heaviness or there's inner conflict going on. You can tell they're in difficult feelings, right? But this practice of allowing, it just lets us all be human, right? And it just lets the human parts of ourselves that we struggle with be embraced, right? It's very much like the practice Jesus was teaching when he advised us not to judge in Matthew 7:1, where he said, judge not so that you will not be judged. And then he went on to say in verse 3 and 4, why do you see the speck that is in your brother's eye, but do not notice the log that is in your own eye? First, take the log out of your own eye, then you'll see clearly to take the speck out of your brother's eye. Just a little mirth there. It's such a beautiful teaching in humility, isn't it? Like, we all have specks in our eyes. Sometimes we have logs in our eyes, and let's just lose the judgment and help each other see better, right? That's a beautiful teaching. So allowing means we acknowledge, I see you struggling, and boy, do I understand, because I struggle too. And together we just hold the space of allowing us both with loving acceptance as we find our way back to oneness, as we find our way back to love and back to peace. That's compassion. Compassion allows us to be human. It allows us both to be human. I can take responsibility for me and my energy and for what I'm bringing to the world, and I can support you in doing the same, right? When you look into the eyes of a great soul, when you look into the eyes of a very high being, it's clear. You see an ocean of this kind of compassion. And when they look at you, they see God. They just see God. And they also see, where you're stuck. And they have this enormous compassion for that. So it's powerful. It's so powerful to be seen with the eyes of unconditional love. And we can give that to each other. We are those great souls. We can give that to each other. And as, when we as mirrors are clear, we reflect more light, right? When a mirror is covered in dust, doesn't reflect much light, right? When it's clear, it shines and reflects our true nature. There's a quote from Rumi that says, as you live deeper in the heart, the mirror gets clearer and cleaner. He wrote that quote for my talk. And he wrote this one too. He said, the beauty you see in me is a reflection of you. I love that. So in closing, may we practice seeing with eyes that realize that all I see is part of me, right? And may we feel compassion for the reflections that are lost in suffering, and compassion for ourselves too when we're in suffering. And may we learn to be more allowing of how challenging this human condition can be for all of us sometimes. In closing, would you repeat these affirmations after me? There is no separation.
There is no separation.
I am the mirror I see.
I am the mirror I see.
I love the mirror I see.
I love the mirror I see.
I am the all we be.
I am the all we be.
I love the all we be.
I love the all we be.
I am.
I am.
Thank you all. I see you. And you are so beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Blessings.